Hey guys, so after many years of Ranger Up being in this warehouse, we have the bittersweet day where we are closing this place down and we're moving to new fancy digs downtown. And I'm really excited about it. The new office is amazing, but spent a decade of my life in this place and just wanted to kind of put something out there for aspiring entrepreneurs and just kind of talk about the emotional journey of like this space. So this was our gym. Right there, we had a big heavy tie bag, which when I was frustrated, when things were going bad, I'd be over there hitting that thing just to get some stress out. Right here was an elliptical that I absolutely beat the shit out of. About 3 years ago, we had like a real crisis where a vendor kind of put us in a bad situation, and I didn't know how we were gonna make it. It was like a empty your 401k kind of moment to keep this place running, and I just sat on that thing and just envisioned ways of working through it. And like sometimes you don't know how you're gonna do it, you just kind of keep plugging away. And so I put miles and miles in this place. This here is a room that this became what we called the design suite. And this is where all the creative stuff happened. And it's such a tiny little room, but so much happened here. This was where we had the set for BNN. This is where we filmed all of our green screen stuff. Over here, this was the first time that designers had their own space. And they all, they were in a row and they had their fancy little computers, and they kept this place pitch black, like a dungeon, and they did their weird designer kind of stuff here, and it was like a real fun room. And this is no more. This here is what we called here Warehouse 3. So that down there was Warehouse 4, but everybody just called it the Designer Suite. This is Warehouse 3. We opened this around our 5th year of business. This was the biggest expansion that we had to our warehouse, and we were blown away that we would even need this. This was the first time that we kind of had like real separate offices. This was where marketing was. Marketing lived here. And my office was this no windows space, but it was kind of cool to actually have like a separate place that was your office. Hadn't really had that before, because I always felt like it was more important to have other people use resources that were critical. And so right around year 5, we expanded and we cut a hole through this wall here and added this warehouse. This here is we called Warehouse 2. This was the most exciting expansion, and this happened about 3 years after we were in business, and we thought we were huge when we opened this up. Our landlord was so excited about the fact that we were expanding that we were able to ask for them to build this conference room. So we had a conference room, which was super fancy, even though, as you can see, there is nothing fancy about this conference room. And they built a shower for us, which was great because then you could work out and shower. And so super silly, not a big deal, but it was a big deal for us. This here was the second office that I had. Tom Amenta and I used to share this office, and we had 2 cheesy desks that we bought at Office Max, and we thought it was like the coolest thing in the world. But we had like the leadership office, and then everybody else was kind of out on the floor, and that was exciting. We felt like we were kind of big time. So that was that was warehouse 2. And you can see this giant hole they cut in the wall for us. And, you know, it was this crazy moment because right now we're standing in warehouse 1. And we got this place about 2 years after we started business. For the first year, we were running it out of an apartment, and the second year, we were running it out of a small, tiny warehouse about a block away. And you can just see, you know, like to us when we walked in this place, it was enormous. You know, this piece here is like 2,500 or 2,700 square feet. And I couldn't imagine actually having enough inventory to fill this place where, you know, we can't even fit all we sell in this warehouse now, this whole thing, this whole 15, 20,000 square feet. But it all started with this little desk right here. So this was a chintzy little desk that I got in like Target. And then it ended up in my garage because, you know, I grew up and got another table or something. I had this when I was in the military. Well, when I started this company as a hobby, I needed like a place to put, you know, my stuff. So this became my desk. I just routed the edge here and built this shelf with my dad when he visited one time. And this became where I put like all the Ranger Up records and ideas and whatever. And, you know, we're gonna leave this for the next budding entrepreneur that's moving into this space. It's actually our next door neighbor. They've got one warehouse right now and they're expanding, and they asked us to leave some stuff. So we're leaving the desk that kind of started it all for me, and we're leaving some tables and some chairs and some things to help them out on their journey. And that's the end of this warehouse.
Oh my God, I wish I could have.
I cleared it!
That's our boss right there.
And this here was the very first office space. I used to sit there on a tiny, on that desk we just looked at, and this was the first time that I was a real entrepreneur. And this used to hold the plant that I took with me when I quit my first corporate job, or my last corporate job. There's a story behind that, but we'll tell it some other time. And with that kind of closes the chapter on 923 East Trinity. It's been a fun ride. This place has treated me really well. A lot of memories here, and I look forward to the next chapter in the new place. You guys got to come visit.